Straight ahead on 12 News, working to close an achievement gap, how Osseo schools plan to improve results for all students. Plus, beating the Thanksgiving rush. We're at the grocery store where we aren't alone. And later, running in a winter wonderland.
There's nothing better than running in a freshly fallen snow.
12 News starts right now.
Hello and thanks for joining us. We begin with an update on the Maple Grove High School incident where racist graffiti was found scrawled in a bathroom.
Osseo area schools say they've identified the student who wrote the messages. Because of student privacy laws, the district could not release the name of the student nor disclose how the student was disciplined. A district spokesperson did tell 12 News that discipline is determined by the seriousness of the situation, and administrators found this to be an extremely serious incident. In a letter, Superintendent Kate McGuire said, quote, "I am committed to ensuring schools where racism is not tolerated and is not ignored." Meanwhile, the Osseo School District is working on plans to improve racial equity and achievement in the classroom.
It is one of the items up for discussion at tonight's school board meeting. Eric Nelson joins us now with more on that. Eric?
Yeah, Alex and Mike, the goal of the Osseo School District is to close the racial achievement gap between whites and minority students. They want to jumpstart this by putting a new policy in place. They hope this is a gateway to better grades and test scores for students.
The policy addresses the school board's position on trying to recruit and retain additional staff of color, to adopt pedagogical practices that are going to help students who have been underachieving to achieve up to their potential.
Now, the Osseo School Board has put a lot of time and effort into creating this proposal and wants to take a stand on racial equity in education. The district explored racial equity policies in Broward County, Florida, Portland, Seattle, and around the Twin Cities, which helped them come up with a proposal.
We went out and talked to parent groups of Hispanic students, Hmong students, some African immigrant students, and tried to identify both internal and external stakeholders who would have something to say about an educational equity policy, and we asked them for input.
The racial equity plan is expected to be approved tonight. However, there are still procedures to develop, and if there's feedback from groups wanting changes to be made, that could possibly happen. Alex and Mike?
All right, thanks, Eric. 2 days before Thanksgiving, and the grocery stores are packed with procrastinators.
Reporter Sonia Goins caught up with some close to the last-minute shoppers at the Hy-Vee in New Hope.
Well, it started early. It's typically a busy day on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Our wintry weather didn't stop folks from getting their Thanksgiving spread at the Hy-Vee in New Hope. The store is ready for those shoppers who like to cut it close.
We have extra staff here to check, to sack, to help in departments, to help people find things they're looking for.
Some shoppers purposely wait until it's almost Turkey Day before they get their food items.
This is not really last minute though. Yeah, so 2-3 days beforehand. Yeah, I don't want to be stuck with a huge turkey in my refrigerator.
Anna Linares is on a mission. She's seeking the perfect Thanksgiving turkey.
I have a turkey. My husband requested a turkey 12 to 14 pounds fresh. That's all the instructions I got.
But Anna will throw down in the kitchen too.
I'm going to make the ambrosia, and I'm also going to make the yams.
We found a lot of people loading up on good eats.
Produce, my wife's going to make something new for green vegetable, stuff for dressing, mashed potatoes, of course.
Joe Benish says he's actually ahead of the game. He purchased his turkey last week.
Last minute, it's Tuesday. I got 2 days yet. Tomorrow's pie day. I got to do all my baking tomorrow.
Now, if you're a procrastinator like me, there's still time to get your Thanksgiving dinner. Hy-Vee is open till 4 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day.
If holiday stress is gobbling up all of your time, you can have someone else shop for you. Hy-Vee's Aisles Online will deliver food, or you can pick up groceries at the store.
Today, if you order before midnight, we can deliver, or you can have groceries picked up anytime tomorrow. We will not be delivering or doing Aisles Online on Thanksgiving.
In New Hope, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Several other grocery chains offer delivery service as well, but you might want to order soon if you want those groceries in time for Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving travel will be a little cheaper this year. According to Twin Cities GasPrices.com, gas was selling for $1.95 on average. Last year, it was $2.02 per gallon, and we can be thankful that it is not 2012. That's when gas was averaging $3.24 per gallon in the Twin Cities, an all-time high for Thanksgiving. AAA estimates that this year will be the busiest for Thanksgiving travel since 2007. MnDOT had hoped to have the Highway 610 extension ready for travel in time for Thanksgiving, but the weather got in the way. Now the latest word from MnDOT and the city engineer for Maple Grove is that the highway could be open all the way to I-94 next week. The plans call for using temporary asphalt paving in a few areas where concrete could not be poured during last week's snowstorm. That would mostly involve shoulders and connections to County Road 81.
The fire department serving the cities of New Hope and Crystal needs your help to locate a piece of life-saving equipment. The West Metro Fire Rescue District is looking for this device called a Lucas. It's an automated CPR machine contained in a lime green and black backpack. The fire department says it fell from a fire truck as it was traveling in Crystal from 35th and Lee Avenue to 53rd and Hampshire. West Metro is offering a $500 reward for its return.
Hennepin County has a message when it comes to trash. We are all throwing away too much food and compostable materials.
We found that people are doing a pretty good job recycling, but they can do a better job on things like paper, boxes, and cardboard. The biggest finding was that there's a lot of organic material in the trash.
And those are the results of a Hennepin County waste sort study done last May. As you can see here, garbage was literally sorted through by hand. The study found about 25% of all trash is food waste and compostable paper, such as napkins and paper towels, which can be recycled with an organics program. The goal is to reduce the amount of garbage that ends up in the landfill.
I think everyone feels a responsibility to be less wasteful, and we all think there's something better you can do with this than just put it in the trash.
Call your local city to find out more about organics recycling. Hennepin County has given preliminary approval to a plan that would provide more grant money to cities that require trash haulers to offer an organics program. Coming up, just because it's snowing doesn't mean you have to stop running. We will have tips for winter running next in Health Check.
And later in sports, the Maple Grove girls hockey team will face Eden Prairie in a rematch of last year's state title game.
But first, from Minnesota Nice to Minnesota Ice, a slushy snow mix continues into Wednesday morning. With the snowfall today, winter has finally arrived.
And while many of us try to stay indoors this time of year, there's another segment of the population that thinks this is the perfect weather for running. In today's Health Check, Delane Cleveland has some tips on how to run in cold weather.
At first glance, the weather doesn't exactly scream perfection.
It's gorgeous, it's serene, and it's just a different experience.
But don't tell that to Christy Branham.
You see a different side of Minnesota.
As far as she's concerned,
There's something about running in the quietness of the snow with the trees and icicles.
this is her version of ideal running conditions.
I love it because it makes me feel alive. I mean, and especially running in the wintertime, there's nothing better than running in a freshly fallen snow.
Christy's a run coach with Lifetime Fitness, and she's far from the only person who feels that way about cold weather running.
It feels about 20 degrees warmer than it actually is outside. So it's a lot more comfortable to run in the wintertime, especially when it's in the 20s and 30s.
But maintaining comfort in the cold weather requires proper preparation. For starters, Christy recommends running in layers,
This will help keep the moisture and sweat away from your body.
using a non-cotton wicking fabric as a base layer.
And the other thing that we recommend is a windbreak. It's going to help with the elements a little bit. It's going to keep the wind off of you, and it's also going to help keep your core body temperature a little bit higher.
Hydration is also a key factor. The risk of dehydration is higher in the winter because your body's working harder to keep you warm.
We recommend that you start off with warm water, and then you wear this underneath your coat.
Another important tip is to stretch before you run to reduce the risk of injury.
I think we are going to start off by doing some lateral lunges.
Here, Christy and her colleague Riley McLaughlin demonstrated lateral lunges.
Maintaining that constant motion, it's going to do a good job of warming up your glutes, warming up your hamstrings and your quads.
Whatever it takes to find comfort outdoors in a Minnesota winter.
It's a great activity to keep up in the winter.
In Plymouth, Blaine Cleveland, 12 News.
And if you're looking for an excuse to run out in the cold, Lifetime Fitness has run clubs across the metro during the winter months. There's also the Turkey Day 5K in downtown Minneapolis on Thanksgiving morning. Coming up, art and nature seen in a new light.
But first, the defending state champion Wayzata boys hockey team gets set for this weekend's Turkey Trot tournament. John Jacobson has that and more coming up next in sports.
Change of seasons outside and also for sports. This is appropriate. Hockey season is getting underway.
It is, and Wayzata hard to beat last season, but they're going to try, and it's another new year, another good team, I think. Wayzata boys hockey team ended last season in style, winning the first state title in program history. The Trojans should be good again this year as they get set to start the season. Trojans are into their first full week of practice after tryouts last week. They returned 4 defensemen, 5 forwards, and a goalie from last year's title team. Winning a championship gives everyone on the program a shot in the arm heading into this season.
All summer long, everyone was talking about it, and even in school this year, everyone's super excited. I think we're going to have a really good turnout at our games. It's just a dream come true.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously really good for our youth program, our high school program, everything. You know, it's just the support we got throughout it was amazing, and you know, it's just people are excited to be around the rink, and we're looking for probably a pretty big crowd on Friday night for those 4 teams. So.
The Trojans hit the ice this weekend for the annual Channel 12 Turkey Trot Tournament. Maple Grove, Edina, and Holy Family are the other teams in the tourney. It's always a fun way to get the season started.
I mean, Turkey Trot is unreal. Can't start the first few games of the year any better. Get the biggest turnout of the season, and I'm sure with state championship we'll get even more this year, and it'll just be unreal.
With Holy Family continuing to get better, and obviously there are 2 teams, Maple Grove and Edina, always are strong programs that you know, are well followed in the community. There's not a lot of games that going on that Friday night either, so I think it's a good test for our kids to just get in front of a good crowd. And you know, us 4 coaches talk a lot about, you know, would you rather have another week of practice before a game? But for me personally, I mean, these high school kids just want to play, so it's nice to get out there and let them hit somebody else, and you know, you can reevaluate how you look on the Monday after before the next weekend, so it's good.
The puck drops Friday as Edina meets Holy Family at 5 o'clock, and Maple Grove and Wayzata battle at 7:30. Saturday, it's the 3rd place game at 5 and the championship at 7:30. We'll have the Saturday games for you live on Channel 12 and our HD Channel 799 and on 12.tv. Wayzata won the Turkey Trot last season. Maple Grove's girls hockey team also played in the state title game in Class AA last season, losing in overtime to Eden Prairie. The Crimson enters Tuesday night's game against Elk River Zimmerman with a 1-1 record. They're ranked number 3, and the loss was the 2nd-ranked Edina. Maple Grove has some tough early games, including a rematch with Eden Prairie in their home opener Saturday. Should be a good game and a good season.
Opening up with losing to our opponent Eden Prairie from the championship of last year, you know, it's going to be fun. A lot of emotions I think will be flying, but yeah, to have the family here and just a bigger family and all to support us being the great team that we are, I think it'll help, and I'm just very excited to see what happens.
Last year we had every person that was on our varsity roster had varsity experience, and this year we have some kids that are new to the varsity pace of play and the experience, so we're definitely going to let the water simmer a little bit before it boils. We have some kids that are making some incredible adjustments and being challenged and pushed to adjust to the speed of the play.
The puck drops at 3 o'clock Saturday at Maple Grove Community Center as the Crimson face Eden Prairie. The fall high school sports season wraps up this weekend with the Prep Bowl. On this week's Sports Jam show, Jay Wilcox and I reveal the picks for the 2016 All-Area girls and boys soccer teams. And here's part of what you'll see.
Eddie Ogamba of Cooper is one of the Hawks' best players in the past 20 years. Strong and relentless, Ogamba scored 9 goals and added 3 assists for Cooper. Number 9, McLean King of Wayzata rounds out the forwards. The senior was dangerous from the wings, either as a passer or finisher. King had 13 goals and 5 assists for the state runner-up Trojans.
Out of the midfield, and Maple Grove's number 14, Meredith Hawkinson. One of the state's top juniors, she was all-conference, all-metro, first-team all-state, and named an All-American. Hawkinson scored 15 goals and 12 assists to help the Crimson to a 13-3-3 record. Ticino Grace's number 9, Ariana Del Moro, was a finalist for Miss Soccer in Class A this season. A dangerous score, the senior midfielder led the Eagles in goals with 14 and added 14 assists, helping Grace reach the Section 5A final. You can catch the rest of the all-area soccer teams this week on Sports Jam. It airs through Wednesday at 3:30, 6:30, and 9:30 p.m. on Channel 12 and 12.tv. And next week, watch our all-area teams in volleyball plus football. That's starting Monday, November 28th at the regular Sports Jam times. And that's a look at sports for today.
All right, thanks a lot, John.
Welcome.
Still ahead, taking a break from the holiday rush and enjoying peace and art.
We'll explain next. Well, you think you're busy getting ready for that Thanksgiving meal. Just think how busy Santa Claus is going to be. Well, starting Wednesday, he's accepting mail at 3 Plymouth locations: Plymouth City Hall, Plymouth Ice Center, and Plymouth Creek Center. Santa and his helpers will send a personalized response to all letters. Just remember to include a self-addressed stamped envelope. Finally, art and nature seen in a new light.
North Hennepin Community College in Brooklyn Park has a new art exhibit that is open to the public. It's called Within from Without. It features the work of Minnesota landscape artists Miko Yamazuki and Jack Mader, who teaches photography at Minneapolis Community and Technical College. The collaboration blends nature with the abstract.
Both responded to nature, and that in working together, they have both gotten ideas and have seen each other evolve in that world of abstraction and nature, so that they, in a sense, complement each other. And that interaction between both of them and the outer world is what this show is about.
And you can see the exhibit at North Hennepin's Fine Arts Gallery. And that's all the news for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we will see you back here again Wednesday, starting at 4.